So I'm just hanging here with some of my friends, and I'm playing a little Bomberman Max 2 on the Game Boy Advance. Now, this is kind of a cool little game. It stars Bomberman and his buddy Max, and he's being sort of shrunk. He's been shrunk by the evil Mujo and the Higgy bandits. Now, the thing is that you play two different characters. Bomberman on the blue cartridge, Max on the red cartridge. You're trying to stop Mujo and, like, grow back to normal size, so you've got to go through all these different levels. Now, the big deal here on this thing is that you can link it up with another Game Boy Advance, and you can play multiplayer games with your buddies. There's 80 different levels on one cartridge. When you connect, you get an additional 20 levels of gameplay. You know, this is a lot of value for the money. It's called Bomberman Max 2 for the Game Boy Advance from Majesco, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's 2 cartridges. Go find some friends and pick this one up. Okay, we found the Golforama inside the amusement park because we're going to talk about a brand new Xbox game called Outlaw Golf.
They obviously had me in mind when they were creating this game.
Yeah, I'll say.
You have all your traditional golf games like match play and stroke play and skins and all those things.
Yeah.
But then they add like 3 or 4 other golf games that maybe you haven't seen in other golf games.
Right.
Like casino play, where you bet on your shots and your holes. They have My One and Only. All you take with you on the course is a putter, and you get to choose one other club.
Well, it's not really all those gameplay modes that make this game fun.
No.
It's not the golf that makes this game original and unique. It's really the cast of characters that we get to play with in this game. And it really is an incredible assortment of really obnoxious people.
The character I always played was the stripper.
Ah, Summer. There are other characters besides Summer and Autumn.
Yes, like the white trash biker chick.
Ice Tray, the white rapper wannabe guy. And then there's another guy who is in love with himself, a Latin Lothario type gentleman.
This game is so great that you can actually beat the hell out of your caddy.
Not only can you do that, you're encouraged to do that because it helps your game. If you're missing shots all over the place and constantly getting into water hazards and stuff, and your little composure meter goes down, well, what you do is you can press a button and you can start getting into a fight with your caddy. And the more you kick their ass, the better your game will become. And the one knock, I guess, that's going to happen here, and it's pretty obvious, the more you play, the more you're going to see the funny bits repeated. And after you've seen them a couple of times, they start to be less funny, and then what you're left with is a pretty average 3D golf game. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
I give it an 8.5.
All right, now we go from strippers and ex-cons to a kiddie game called Bomberman Generation for the GameCube.
I was impressed that they finally took the Bomberman-style game and brought it into the 21st century.
That's right, yep.
Over the last 10 or 15 years, these Bomberman games, they haven't really improved too much on the graphics. Even in the Dreamcast version,
they all look kind of the same.
It still looked like from, 10 or 15 years ago. This one at least has more of a 3D look. The cell shading animations I liked as far as the style.
He collects all kinds of power-ups like, bigger firepower and speed up kind of things. He also collects these creatures called Cherubombs, which are like Pokemon, and they give him all kinds of new abilities. But the other part of the game, which I find the most fun, it's the multiplayer battle mode, and this harkens back to the old 16-bit days, to the root of the Bomberman gameplay.
In Vic's opinion, this is a great game.
We played the multiplayer for a long time, and you were having some fun.
No, hey now, don't put words in my mouth.
You were having fun.
I was not having fun. I find absolutely
he had fun.
No entertainment value whatsoever in this title. Now that's just for me.
No entertainment value.
I'm not saying that people out there aren't going to disagree with me. People like
Millions of people out there are disagreeing with you right now.
Love to be hand-fed their...
Give me a break.
Their kiddie entertainment.
This game is tons of fun. It's a proven concept.
Okay, wait, no, that's
It's got loads and loads of puzzle solving.
That's bull.
Even if it was just a multiplayer game, this thing would be a riot, but they've thrown in an action-adventure game in there to boot.
You're saying I'm wrong?
I think you're crazy.
For my opinion? Why? I'm not
I agree you're wrong.
I'm not saying you're crazy.
I think you're wrong. You say I'm wrong and crazy every other show. I think you're absolutely nuts not to like this game.
I just had no interest at all and no fun at all playing this, so I gotta give it like a 2.5. A
2.5.
A 2.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. All right, we're back, and we made our way to the bowls because we're going to talk about aggressive inline. Now, what did you think of this game?
They have all these famous rollerbladers.
Right, yes.
That no one in the right mind has ever heard of.
I think that's what the object of the game is to raise the profile of this very cool sport, and I think it's going to do a great job.
I've never heard of any of these people, don't really care about them.
All right.
But I tell you, the best character to play is Chrissy.
Chrissy, right.
Chrissy is a girl they made up, and she wears a little short Catholic schoolgirl dress.
It's not all about Chrissy and her underwear, though. This game,
to me it was, but go ahead.
This game has an incredible engine behind it. It's using the Z-Axis Dave Mirra engine. Frame rate's always a rock-steady sort of 60 frames per second, and the character's animation is amazing.
First thing I did when I got into the game, after watching Chrissy's underwear for 20 minutes, is started slamming into pedestrians, because this is always fun.
You can literally run into them, or you can actually go in and talk to them, and they'll give you new mini-missions.
These levels are absolutely incredible. They've got to be the biggest levels in any kind of extreme sports game like this. This also has the most tricks out of any game
that's why I love
this kind.
That's why I love the skates. I think that because you have both hands and both legs free to do whatever you want.
You know what annoys me about these games, though, and this one's a perfect example, is they have all these great levels, right?
Yes, yes.
And every single one of them except the first one is locked.
Yes.
That's so annoying.
I know.
These games are supposed to be interactive.
The only knock that people are going to have against aggressive inline is the fact that there have been so many extreme sports games in the last little while, so it doesn't really have that fresh vibe. I think we're going to see a lot more inline skating games out there. This one gets a 9 out of 10. All right, we found the place in the park that is the closest we have seen so far to flying in space, because we're going to talk about a brand new expansion pack for Galactic Battlegrounds. It's called the Clone Campaign.
This game was built on the Age of Empires engine.
Age of Kings, actually. It was a sequel to Age of Empires, but roots in Age of Empires.
They didn't add anything new, really, to the engine. For example, the Clone Wars were all about thousands of people battling other thousands of things. I want to be able to pick like 1,000 different units of guys and send them battling against 1,000 other guys. But because of the limitations of the older engine, you can only send, you can only control up to like 20 guys.
This is not a 3D game, so you can't zoom into the action. You can't zoom out and see the huge battlefield. But what you do get is a solid playing game, and it works great. And I think that's why LucasArts went with this engine.
Yeah, they went with a proven winner. It's the safe way to go.
Yep.
But, hey, I want to see something else.
Really what we're talking about here are robots, troopers, and workers. Mining for stuff. You're building all kinds of new craft. There's air battles. There's turrets that you can build. It's a very slick game. In the original Galactic Battlegrounds, you were able to play with vehicles and units from Episode 1, 4, 5, and 6. And this one introduces a lot of the cool things that we saw in what I think are the most spectacular Star Wars battles in the whole series of movies. But the coolest part of this game has to be the Jedi Knights. The Jedi Knights are awesome. They get hit and their health regenerates quickly, but those lightsabers, they can stop anything.
Now, the voice acting in this game is phenomenal, like in all LucasArts games.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'll go as far as saying that the voice acting in this game was far better than the actual movie Episode 2 itself, and I think you'd agree with me.
What would you give it?
I would give it a 7.
I give it exactly the same score, 7 out of 10.
Here's a recap on our reviews, including scores from Electronic Gaming Monthly and Computer Gaming World. Visit our website at www.electplay.com, or if you're mobile, wap.electplay.com.
Well, buddy, that's the end of another fine show, but I think we should probably start heading back and start playing games for the next show.
Actually, I'd like to see you strut your stuff in the bowl down here.
You would you?
Yes.
I think extreme sports are crazy. I'd never do that.
Okay, fair enough then.
Production assistance for Electric Playground is provided by Xbox, publishers of NFL Fever 2003, Nintendo, publishers of Eternal Darkness for GameCube, and PlayStation, publishers of The Mark of Cree for PlayStation 2.
Where are you taking me? I gotta go back that. Where are you taking me? I need to go there. No, Vic wanted me over there. Oh, yeah.